What's going on YouTube? It's your boy J Sauce back again with another video, and today we have SPS Week 2 versus Shazam, and yeah, we took home a very good win last week despite Healing Wish stuff, and we're looking to become 2-0 this week. And I think we can do that. This team, I don't know how I feel about his team. You look at the top five, it's kind of like the power of friendship, right? You got a bunch of synergetic mons, where on the latter half you have some more offensive threats, such as Mienshao and Weavile, which are the two scariest Pokemon versus me, I think, as well as Nihilego. But yeah, it's an interesting team, and I don't know how well it matches up versus me, but we'll see. I think Terra Skeletor just probably gonna be the Swingmon in this game. I really see it coming and just terastallizing into a defensive type and like burning all of my guys. Maybe it's like Terra Fairy for my Lopunny, or something like that, something along those lines. But yeah, let's get into our team for week 2. Starting off, we have Megalopony. It just looks really good into his entire team, I'm not gonna lie. It's U-turn, return, close combat, the standard stuff, and then we have the Sod in case that Skeletor does actually burn me because it will live a return. And then he doesn't really have any resist to Facade. It's like Corviknight, which I think is probably Spadef this week, so that will be a very interesting thing. We're running Max Attack Adamant. I believe I ran this because I still outspeed Megalotti. And I force out Weavile because no sane man is staying in with Weavile against a Megalopony. So we can afford to run Adamant this week. A little bit of bulk. It's probably not going to matter, but it's always nice to have. And yeah, like I said earlier, this Pokemon's going to go crazy. Now, I do expect a Scarf from either Mienshao or Nihilego, which makes this a little tougher, admittedly. But next up, we have Choice Specs Dragapult with Shadow Ball, Draco, Thunderbolt, and U-turn. It's, again, one of those Pokemon that we can afford to just nuke stuff with, right? Because I don't know if Enamorus is coming. Either way, we got Thunderbolt because Enam and Corv are going to be his Dragapult answers likely, especially if he sees that we're offensive. And Shadow Ball hits his entire team other than Arboliva, which I don't foresee coming. And then, yeah, Draco's just the nuke button. And then we have U-turn last, just for some pivoting. And we're just running Max Attack Modest, because Max Speed allows us to speed tie with Weavile. Now, I was debating if I should do that, because if he's smart, he'll just outspeed creep my Thundurus. And I debated back and forth whether I should, whether I shouldn't. And I decided that I really didn't want to take the risk. I would have been able to have a lot more bulk, but it's whatever. Hopefully it doesn't matter. Hopefully it doesn't come into fruition, but I'll be really upset at myself if it does. Next up, we have Tapu Lele with the Twisted Spoon this week. Psychic, Nature's Madness, Thunderbolt, Moonblast. With the Twisted Spoon, I'm able to 2-hit Skeletor just as long as it doesn't Terra into a resist. We've got Nature's Madness because it's just a goaded move. As long as Corv isn't lefties, then Nature's Madness into Thunderbolt kills Spadef Corv most of the time. And then Moonblast, as always, is just very spammable. He doesn't really have a ton of switch-ins on this team. Like I said, Corv. But I think I saved Moonblast late for possibly a Moonblast sweep. I could just Nature's Madness that Corv and hopefully kill it early. We're running just max special attack modest, max HP, and a little bit of speed just because really. I don't foresee Orbeetle coming, and if it comes, I don't think he'll be running speed, but just in case he wants to secrete my Lele, I decided to put 16 in there. But yeah, this Pokemon's going to be putting in work. It's also a Draco Meteor immune Pokemon. It can be really good for Latios because it resists Luster Purge. It's immune to Draco Meteor. I really debated putting on Covert Cloak and running more of a defensive set, but I really needed the damage from the Twisted Spoon and from running Modest for Skeldurge and Corv respectively, and because I think those are the two backbones of his defense, which open up Lopunny and Dragapult. Now next up, we're bringing our Ferrothorn this week. We're running the Occaberry in case of, any shenanigans with Megalodios or Skeldurge. We're just running Leech Seed, Toxic, Protect, Knockoff, a pretty standard Ferrothorn set, and we're just going to try be as annoying as possible. We're just running max HP, max special defense, and a little bit of defense with a positive nature. No specific reason really, other than to be on the same level of defense and special defense. And yeah, this thing is just here to be annoying. Not really much else I can say about this Pokemon, other than this thing's main goal is to, again, chip stuff down for Lele, Dragapult, and Megalopony to clean. And I think he'll do a very good job of that. And with Leech Seed and Protect, I can keep this thing pretty healthy throughout the game. Moving on, we have Muckalola with the Ipapa Berry and Gluttony, Knockoff, Pursuit, Recycle, Gunk Shot. I just think it's a very funny set. If you don't know, Gluttony, this Pokemon eats berries at half max HP instead of their usual 1/4 max HP. And Ipapa restores 1/3 max HP at 1/4 max HP. Basically, if Muck gets below half, we're gaining back 33%, and we can just use Recycle to constantly get that 33%. This week we're running just max HP, pretty much max defense, a little bit of speed in case an Amorous wants to try to do something sneaky, and just a little bit of Spadef with a positive nature. I'm sure that these investments probably mean something, but I'm not gonna lie. It's been a week or so and I forgot. The reason it's mainly in Fizdef instead of being especially defensive, because Latios is really good into my team. I think that Mienshao and Weavile are more threats to my team, and I really want my Muck to have a little bit of defense to be able to maybe punish them. I can knock Mienshao if it's Scarf, or I could Gunk Shot Weavile, and it does a lot. And finally, we have the Pokemon that I actually built first. It's Choice Specs Terra Water Volcanion, because you look at the team, he has 0 Steam Eruption switch-ins. Megalodi takes over half. Swampert, if it's Fizdef, dies. And everything else just perishes as well. Barring, Terra Water Skeleturge. Which is actually probably what I would bring if I was him. It really doesn't matter because he can't switch in on it initially. So he's going to probably have to sack something. And we're just running max HP, max special attack modest. Just very simple EVs, because that's all it needs this week. It doesn't really need to speed creep anything, because I don't see Corv or Skeledirge really creeping this, to be honest. But yeah, pretty simple spread. Steam Eruption is the main button we're clicking, but for what it's worth, we also have Flamethrower, Fire Blast, and Sludge Wave. In case we need to hit something like a Terra Pokemon, or really, I don't even know. But I had to put other options there. I could have put something like, I don't know, Defog, but I just want 4 attacks. Sludge Wave is there for like an AV, a damn turtle, although I think it probably dies to 2 Steam Eruptions. Because Volcanion is powerful. Don't underestimate this guy. He's pretty shiced, actually. But yeah, that's the team for week 2. Versus Shazam, and let's get into the battle. Alright, so the first thing I noticed about the team he brought is that there are no Terra Captains, which makes my job a lot easier. It makes Ferrothorn a lot better, knowing that there's no Skeledirge lurking around. I think no Nihilego is great for my team because I was very scared when prepping. But yeah, I just lead Volcanion because, like I said, nothing comes in. If Latios decides to come in on a Steam Eruption, it's taking, I believe the calc was 60 to 75 if it's just pure offensive. So yeah, it's not really a switch in. So yeah, like I said, Volcania just comes in, clicks buttons. I lead Volk, he leads Weavile. This is a horrible lead for him. So he's got a switch, which means I just take free chip on whatever. So I go Latios, and of course I miss the 95% accurate move, because why would I? Forces Muk to come in and be immune to Luster Purge. I could Pursuit here. I could have, and I really want to. Ice Click Knockoff, get off the leftovers. I want to save Pursuit for later. But yeah, Volt comes in on the Stealth Rocks. That was just a pure prediction. Swampert perishes. Even if it was Spadef, I think it died from there. He doubles into Weavile like an absolute boss. As I miss a Steam Eruption, again, this Weavile should be dead. Knocks off, and yeah, he's banded as a bitch. So that's scary. We just see the Namorous coming in. I believe we protect to scout if he's fire move. And he's not, but we got a little bit of health back. We protect again to see what he does. And he's clicks Draco here. I stay in on the Draco calling his bluff. And yeah, I toxic this, putting it on a timer in case it's a calm mindset, because that pretty much ruins me. But Weavile comes in, get the leech seed off, and I'm just going to do the same thing. I'm going to protect. So he goes into Mega Latios. Sorry, I actually click knock off to get a little bit of chip, and I want to knock off the band ideally. Latios does show Mystical Fire, and that's the end of my Ferrothorn, but I think it did a pretty decent job. Lock comes in, and we just U-turn out because it's super effective on Latios, and we get Scout Corv. Shows that it's pure Fizz Death and Rocky Helmet. So yeah, free Volcanion switch in, and maybe we can do something. An amp comes in. It's very AV, but we get the burn, and Enamorous goes down. Volt getting 2 kills is awesome. Latios comes in, and I don't know why I stayed in on Draco. I wanted to preserve HP on Muk, I guess. I should have gone Lele. That's my fault. But yeah, Dragapult can come in and click Shadow Ball, I believe. Yep, and yeah, we can tell that's no Spadef. Weavile comes in on another Shadow Ball, and that's still to KO because we get the Spadef drop. And Dragapult lives on 1 HP. because it's Banded Weavile, and if I sped crept right, that would have been such an ass clincher. Mienshao has to reveal its scarf now, and can't really do much about it. I send in Lele because it's the easiest thing to kill Corviknight with. We use Thunderbolt, and if Mienshao comes in and has Poison Jab, then we live one because we're max HP. And no poison allows us to kill Mienshao. Now, my play here was to just sack and go into lot, but he just clicks agility, allowing for Lele to get 3 kills. That's pretty good, especially when it didn't show up last week because it didn't have to. Yeah, pretty weird game. Volcanion realistically could have gotten 4 kills, but it decided to be blind today. It decided to turn to Ray Charles, turn into Stevie Wonder, you name it. Like, hopefully it's all the Volcanion bad luck pushed out for all season. It's just unfortunate it happens in the best possible matchup for it. But yeah, it doesn't matter anyways, because I've taught myself to not play off tilt and stay calm. And that's what we did. We stayed calm under the pressure. I really could have switched out Dragapult on the Ice Shard into Lele. But I didn't want to risk him going for knock or anything, because Ice Shard is still kind of iffy when I have Psychic Terrain. And yeah, a not so smooth 3-0 victory takes us to 2-0, and it doesn't matter if it was smooth or not because a win is a win. And that's all that counts in my book. The record shows that I'm still undefeated. It doesn't necessarily say how well I played, but I'm undefeated. I'll see you in week 3 when we take on Austin and his Iron Valiant team. And with that being said, J Sauce out.